Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. We are Moses Restorations. I am Jennifer Moses. This is my husband Matt Moses, and together we refinish furniture to sell at a store and refinish furniture for others. And today we are going to talk about sanding. So we are going to answer all of your commonly asked questions that we get all the time, but I'm going to kind of interview Matt and he's going to answer all those questions. Okay, so our first question, what sanders do we use?
Okay, so the two brands that we go with is FESTOOL and Surf Prep. We love them both. This is a FESTOOL 6-inch. In addition, we have a 6-inch Surf Prep. And then also we have the Surf Prep 3x4 that is better for finish sanding and getting in details. And these two are better to remove material and to do sanding on large flat surfaces.
Like this?
Yep.
Yeah. Can you tell us what this is?
So that's the vacuum hose. We have HEPA filters and vacuums for all three of these, and it really helps the dust. Yeah, there's a vacuum there. We just don't have it on right now. And yeah, so we have this for all three of them to not have such a big dust collection everywhere in the shop.
Next question is why it doesn't matter if we go with the grain or against the grain.
So all of these are random orbital sanders, and well, especially these two right here, they go around. So if they're going around this way and kind of at a sideways kind of as well, then it doesn't really matter which way you're going. You're not going to create a problem with it. What you want to, but you do kind of want to finish your last pass with it. I don't know, it's just kind of OCD for us about it. So that's why.
For this piece, this is going with the grain, and this would be going against the grain. Okay, next question that we get all the time is how do you decide what grit to start with, and maybe what is a grit?
So on the grit, the lower the number, the more aggressive it is. The higher the number, the less aggressive, but it does give you a smoother finish at the end. So when you're going in, and so like this piece, we're gonna strip it all the way down. Normally what we do is we start with a 120 grit here, and if it's not coming off too fast, because this is a solid piece of wood, we will go down to an 80 to just speed the process up. But as you are going through it, you will take off the finish here and the color with the 80, and then you will go 120, 180, 220. And you don't want to go from just 80 to 220 because the 80 grit because it is so aggressive, it can cause little circles in the finish. So you've got to go up slowly to erase the circles and get a nice and smooth finish that way.
Next question is why is it so important to make sure that you are consistent in getting all of the surface with each grit, and how it is noticeable if you like skip a small area?
So with being consistent, especially if you're staining a piece, if you're not consistent all the way through, you can put stain on and it be darker here and lighter here depending on how your pressure was and how you raised the grits as you went up. If you missed a spot, it can change the way that the stain looks. With a paint, you can put your hand over it and it'll feel a little bumpy right here maybe because it's raised the grain more, whereas if you've moved up to 180, 220 at the end and done it all right, it won't open the grain so much, so the water from the paint going down in the grain won't raise the grain so much, so you won't feel it.
Okay, Matt, tell us about all these different sanding pads.
Okay, well, this is one for the FESTOOL, and the Surf Prep one looks very similar, but basically all the holes match the holes on the piece, and you just line it up and take off with your sanding, and it does a really good job of collecting the dust when you line the holes up just right. The 3x4 Surf Prep here is a lot different. This is considered a screen pad, and the thing about it is it's all got little holes all in it, so you can kind of put it anywhere and it'll collect the dust. So if you're sanding on a piece and you need to get the side of it, like right here, you can overlap it and then get the side right here like this. Other thing Surf Prep has is these little pieces here that can kind of let you go around the curves a little bit better. So you would put your sandpaper on here and you can go and then it will form the curves here. This one is a little bit firmer, so for different kinds of things you can put it on there and it will do what you need it to do. Another thing that Surf Prep has is these foam pads, and you know, all of these are a little bit different. This is the shortest one and it does, you know, the least amount of getting around the curves, but it's also the most aggressive. But all of these have different grits. This next one here is considered this one's a 5mm, this is a 10mm, and it does a little bit better. And this one is a 1/2 inch, and you can see how it really squeezes easy and can really go down into the curves here, but it's the least aggressive on trying to pull up a finish here, okay? And then another one you have here is, it's a 1/2 inch thick, similar to this, but it is way bigger to where if you're going into a lot of detail areas or something and you needed to sand, you can really get all the areas with the oversized pad. So Surf Prep has a lot of things to offer with their stuff.
Next, we're into hand sanding. So tell us what this is. How do we use it?
The hand sanding is my favorite thing to do. That's a joke. These are Surf Prep rad pads, and all of the different colors are different grits. This would be like a lower grit, it's a medium, and this is a super fine. And I really like sanding these in between coats and going over, and instead of being very aggressive with a sander, you can kind of control it with these. Makes a big difference on how the finish comes out. These over here are contour, and this is just a few of the ones that we have. And we use these a lot for trying to get a finish off, and you can take something like this paper and wrap it around, and it allows you to kind of get into tight little spots. So for example, if we needed to kind of come in here because a sander couldn't get this, we could come in and sand like that and start to get that finish off. And then when you go to something like the trim here and the sander might not be able to get it, you could put this around and be able to really get in there and clean anything up. And so that's something that is really handy to have. So if you are sanding a lot and stripping pieces, this is something you need to get.
So hope this video helped. If this helped you, hit that like button, subscribe, maybe leave a comment saying what you want to learn from next. Thank you.
Thank you.